Okay, you'll give that.
No, I will ask for consent. I cannot just say committee and say I'm going to give.
No,
Because
no.
what if I don't get a consent?
No problem. No, I'm saying to you, you will give us a list of those. There was a Karabo list that said this one is a CFO or whatever at this municipality and all of that. So give us a list of all those that were appointed who are working for government, and not only the advisor to the minister. That's the point I was getting at. So go give us that list, scrutinize it, and give us even at which level of government do they work for. Then the second one, we've agreed about you going to look for consent. Honorable Louw.
Modula stulo ke go leboge ke tse tšhono ke re kgang gapetswe ke kgang tse di matsetseleko le tse di masisi gareng ga gore ba Afrika Borwa ba gamaregile ba ipotsa dipotso gore ra go tswa re rileng yaka re le maloko a parlamente le ba rongwa ba department go botlhokwa thata ministera gore o tsetsie ditetlebo le dingwe tsa ditshwaelo tsa ba maloko a rona parlamente gobane go simolola ka pele fela ha re tla go leba sentle matsapa mantsi thata re itemogela mo paneleng ya rona e le gore re santse re sa itse. I'm going to go back to the panel issue and I'm going to speak here and I'm going to be very calm and as conscious as I am. You have shown leadership by agreeing to the process of the chairs as per the outcome of society. You've shown us that you are willing to listen also and work with stakeholders. And I want to take you back to the people who could have crafted your statement, which I was quite concerned when I wrote the statement. I read the statement as a result that says that the stakeholders, which I felt that maybe portfolio committee was not part of the stakeholders. And today at least you could see that the stakeholders of portfolio committee's members are trying to bring about a solution that will respond to South Africans' outcries. I'm saying all of this because, Minister, the most significant problem that we are faced with as a country is that before that you sit to agree on appointing board chairpersons, have you previously looked onto a criteria to check all those previous chairpersons? Do they have any findings of non-compliance or irregularities in the past where they were involved in governance or financial management? I'm posing this because I feel the panel did not do much in identifying or going deeper into identifying all of this. And I'm posing this question because what could have given effect onto all of this thing? It could have been when you could have started to understand the findings and provide the context on the current concerns that highlight the need for a stringent government where we are accountable and we are transparent. In the previous chairpersons, before you appointed these ones to the panel, have you sit down to review on the previous ones onto the non-compliance or any findings of irregularities so that you can therefore draw your confidence from the fact that how you're going to drive the new appointments? I want to check from there so that I can come back and unpack why that panel must go and why the public must know the panel. Thanks.
No, thank you so much, Chairperson. Remember, the Portfolio Committee gave us a responsibility to assess the performance of all our sitters in the country. Oh, the chair is not here. Now I'm checking and I can't see anyone. I must speak to you, yes. So we did that exercise. NSA provided us with the report. Then that's the report that guided us on how best should we approach each and every sitter in trying to identify the strengths, the weaknesses, and what kind of a caliber of a chairperson that we should put in that sectoral sitter to turn around the sitter. So it was based, our determination was based on the performance report that was presented before us by NSA. CO, I think he was working together with the board by that time. That was the day before Asanda.
Okay, mine was to check previously was there any investigation or audits that revealed unethical behavior or financial mismanagement among the past chairpersons? I want to establish something. No, yes, the previous chairpersons before you appointed, I want to know, before you go to appoint new chairpersons, I agree the department sits, it make determinations, it review, and you sit with the panel or you sit with whatever and say, this is what we've picked up in the previous financial year, and these are the problems in the sitters. I'm asking this because these sitters are not performing. They're not doing anything. So I want to know from the beginning of appointing the chairs, what was the criteria to identify the previous problem and to give effect to the current problem directive in terms of this? Thanks.
Please allow me, Chair, to give to the CEO, Kuzayo, to take us through that.
Honorable Chair or Acting Chair, Minister. Yes, there was an assessment that was done, but I must also indicate that in the list of that is being discussed, there were only just 2 members, and there was no findings that were made against the members and individually as the chairpersons.
Okay, I'm basing all of this question because if you would have went through a thorough and a review process that is quite content and that is quite extreme, you would understand that the panel had a duty firstly to identify the gaps. Hence, I'm going to plead with the minister consciously with you, Minister. I'm pleading that with this process, because we've already accepted, go and consult the panel, but give South Africans the benefit of the doubt that you will give the names of the panel and then you will give their background so that we look as to how you could have went to get to the panel, because the problem was not going to be the chairs or to be done by the chairs. The problem was the cohort of the panel as to are they conscious enough and how they could have advised you in terms of their process of the board. So I want to plead with you, consent or not consent, give the people of South Africa the panel that could have brought to this process, because already in the committee we have identified 3 to 4 problems in the process to appoint the new chairs of the boards. So it's important that you go and relook onto the panel and give it to the South Africans and strengthen it and give it a clear terms of reference, because our question will be, did the AGSA give you an advice to have the panel, or where did you derive the panel? Don't get what to get to that point. So what the panel, I want to consciously plead with you again as a South African, as a minister of South Africa, please go and give South Africans the panel and go and review on the panel and give them a clear directive as to what should happen, because we might come back and have the similar problem as to not be able to account to that. My other question I want to ask, it's on the panel, Minister. My concern was to say, if we haven't vetted the panel, I want to ask a question. What criteria were they using to evaluate applications, and how are they ensuring that the process is free and is for all while you have not vetted them? What would have constituted their consciousness as to determine who gets shortlisted, who does not get shortlisted, while we do not know what they possess, what they have?
Thank you so much, Chair. I think this question is coming, I don't know for how many times now. It has been coming and coming and coming and coming. I indicated that the criteria that was used by the panel was to stick to the legislative imperative, because the criteria in terms of the nomination is explicit in the Skills Development Act, Section 11.4, which provides the minister in appointing the members of the AA to say they must consider issues of gender, demographics, representation, disadvantaged persons or communities that have been prejudiced by past racial and gender discrimination in relation to access to skills development programs, a blend of knowledge, skills, and experience required for the effective function of the sitter in question, and is drawn from the ranks of senior officials in the organization. So I don't want us to believe that those who are serving in, who are senior officials in organization, they're not allowed to serve in these boards. the Act is clear to say they must also form part of the board. So those were the issues, and then taking into cognizance the strengths and weaknesses as well as the performance of the sitters, then see what kind of a leader that is going to drive the transformation of our sitter system.
Okay, I was asking it deliberately because I wanted to get to the point where, at this particular moment, what mechanism will you employ to address the potential conflicts of interest among those overseeing the review currently now? So that we understand, do you have measures in place? We understand, we don't only speak of the Act, because the Act can give you a directive, but does it unpack provisionally what is expected? Because there should be an Act, there should be a policy and a code of conduct that gives directive to certain individuals who preside over others as to how do you prohibit that these particular issues do not come and repeat themselves again. I'm putting it into the directive because I agree we're trying to, the members could have asked other questions, but we're trying to drive it to the solution based on that. When we come back, we're clear. I want to know what mechanism are in place to address any potential conflicts of interest among those overseeing this review at this current epoch.
I think the first part is to sign a bit after being sent letters of intentions of the minister to serve this independent panel. What is going to follow is the vetting process. That has been recommended by the members of the portfolio that we should vet these people. We cannot just hand over a process which is sensitive and critical to people who are not vetted. That's the area that we're going to focus on. And also make sure that they sign the declaration of interest. That's the key areas that one is going to consider during the reappointment of this panel.
No, thanks. You should also include on vetting the minister.
I started with it in my response. Yes.
Okay, thanks. And we check their interest also.
How disturbed you I could see
No, he was
when I
not.
was responding.
No, he was not. He was not. Minister, I'm moving to another question. The question is trying to address that the decisions to take, are there any public announcement or reports detailing the criteria used for the reappointments? Have you done a detailed criteria that you've explained to the community, or you only release a statement?
The Gazette speaks to the public.
Have you, I'm trying, have you make other means of extraordinary from the department in terms of the, is beside the Gazette?
It's the Gazette, Chair.
Okay. And then I want to check, how transparent is the reappointment process?
I believe it is transparent because there is no other media of communication that we can utilize as government beside Gazette. That's transparency to say there are these vacancies that are open, so people must respond to the call for nominations.
I'm asking transparency based on this, Minister. Let me try and put it down. We are at the reappointment process where we have identified issues that could have hindered our process through the public outcry and the issues that could have put forward in place. Now, I'm giving the Minister an opportunity to reassure society calmly to say, out of my observation, that is going to be our transparent process in going forward. There was an outcry, one minister, that said, we'll prefer, as this process is going to be on the public eye, the minister should be able to time update and communicate with the public so that tomorrow we don't find ourselves wanting as a country. So that is my question based on that particular way, because we are today debating a process of the first appointment, whether was it according to the law or was it not according to the law. I want you to reassure our citizens today what will propel you at this point, so that we do not go and say the panel, the DG, or whoever. We are going to say, I went to and I'm satisfied, I went to the policies, the Gazette. This is my transparency, I can defend these particular individuals. I'm raising this because previously you could have had a problem where you could only account to few individuals, but you couldn't account to individual chairpersons, because when a process comes from an independent panel, when it gets to you, you are expected to study, apply your mind, and look at the legislative, and then you align as what you are going to announce into the public. That is why I'm trying to bring you into. Thanks.
In terms of accountability on this process as empowered by the Skills Development Act Chairperson, The only entity that the minister must actually account to or consult in relation to the appointment of NSA of SETAs is to seek NSA approval, no concurrence. So what one is going to do as part of engaging the communities to understand how far we are without declaring those who met the criteria or requirements or not. Because I want us to move together with the society to understand how far are we is to, from time to time, through media statement, brief them to say the process now is here. People are being vetted now. We have this number of people that have applied. We have sifted this number that met the criteria. We are still in a process of doing that. It is going through media engagement, but we are not going to declare who are those people that are sifted or that met the criteria, because it is confidential up until the process has been concluded by the NSA in terms of the act. There is no other way I could declare that information, because the legislation empowers me that I must consult the NSA before the information can be communicated anyway.
Oh, thanks. Last time we had a SETA board chair who attended the meeting, and he was. I wanted to check the cost implications and what is going to happen for him to recoup or pay back the money, because he was removed as a chair immediately after the withdrawal of the minister. Instruction SETA chairperson.
For now, we did not get any indication that there are financial implications, but we are still going to make a follow-up and find out from the relevant sector and provide the response in writing, Chair. Because at this point in time, we don't have a clear indication, but our understanding is that there is no financial implications. But however, if when we go back to double check with the SETA to get more information and to find something else, we are going to respond and provide the detailed response on this matter.
Oh, the reason I was asking it is that he did travel and arrived in Cape Town, so I think he must look onto it. So that what are the cost implications? Because he before that he was told that you are no longer the chair. Shame, he was here and then he was as a chairperson. So please look onto that so that we can cover up all aspects. Now, Minister, in my closure, I want us to agree that it is crucial that all nominees possesses an NQ level 8 qualification as mandated by the Skills Development Act. And then to enhance transparency and integrity of the appointment process, the following, we will have to engage the South African Qualification Authority, SAQA, to audit educational credentials is also critical. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was a comment. I'm going to be very quick, Minister. Okay. 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 Let's do this, members. Let me allow you to get food, and then we'll do this part at least. Whilst I'm asking questions, you'll be eating. So let's quickly do that part. Thanks. That let's do it in 5 minutes, colleagues. Nah? Yeah, I mean, now it's myself and you, just the questions. Let's dish and go sit down, colleagues. Kabo. Eva, let's not eat there. Let's go sit down. Please. Continue, members. Those who are still dishing, please do so very quietly so that we can continue. It's late now. It's 3:20. I was called to order on email by one person who, Honorable Cesar, please go answer the phone outside. The meeting has started now. I was saying I was called to order by one of the people who were watching us. No, SABC has left. They are going to compile a report. They've got deadlines. I made a joke on a lighter note about when we're talking about Honorable Molife's PhD, and I said I hope he did not get it as an RPR. And somebody, it was a joke, you know. Yeah, but I understand where the person comes from. That there are a lot of current students and prospective students who want to go to Fort Hare, and if we keep on making jokes about Fort Hare like that, it might not look good. And I would like to, I know we were specifically talking about the RPL, given what the SIU had reported to us about the RPL program on the 14th of February this year. But I understand where the person comes from, and I want to apologize to him and many others who may feel offended about that particular comment, which I made as a joke. Minister, the advert, when it comes, it says SITA board chairs at what. So where does it go?